Twitter users will soon have to pay for certain security features. The platform is disabling two-factor authentication via text for people who are not subscribed to Twitter Blue. The two-factor authentication requires users to retype in their passwords, then enter a code or security key to access their accounts. Twitter said it will make the change March 20th. The platform said this is because they've seen hackers abuse the text-based authentication. Twitter also added users will have other options, an authentication mobile app or a security key. Twitter Blue costs $11 a month.